little bit. You know what they did? They let media see on social media a video of the trophy being inscribed. So Ibrahim, you know they inscribed the trophy at the end of the day.
Yes, so before they inscribed Manchester.
Yes, so they showed that Manchester. So
let's with whether City
yeah,
or
City will do it. So I was here with you the other day. I guess you didn't believe me. Now you owe me champagne.
Yes, I think
I told you Arsenal were going to struggle with this thing.
I have to give you your stone.
Yes.
I picked the stone to give you, but I've forgotten it. I'll give you your stone.
Well, but I still think Arsenal did a great job. But
yes,
the point I was trying to make was that this is the Premier League. If Arsenal win the Premier League, then this is not the kind of Premier League that we know. It will be like the Leicester season or another season, because the point I made, how well you are doing in other competitions was zero for Arsenal. Quick recollection of your star players was not that strong for Arsenal. Yes. So that a title-winning team cannot have that. Manchester City, everybody could say Gundogan,
De
Bruyne, Haaland all the time,
yes,
and Jack Grealish.
Grealish.
Those were names, and then Kai Walker, and those were names that were on your mind. Even if you look at Liverpool, you can pick up some names. You look at Manchester United, you can pick up. Arsenal was always difficult apart from Bukayo Saka. You had to think again.
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale, is he not the goalkeeper?
No. Yeah, Ramsdale is the goalkeeper.
You didn't know he was the goalkeeper.
I wanted to mention the forward, the captain.
Martinelli?
No, not Martinelli.
Somebody's trying to remind you. Odegaard.
Yes,
Odegaard is the name that you're trying to. You see how we are struggling to look for the names. You don't struggle with the title.
He even made the team of the season.
Okay, let's see that video and then we continue.
So you made the point in that video that Arsenal have benefited from a very good run of games. Like their fixtures have benefited them. And then you made a point that the next run of games, which is the next 8 games, will really tell us if they are a title-winning team. And that run of games have really told us the story. So let's see the video of the point you made that day.
All right, let's see the video. With the number of games left, you will see that Arsenal. So this Arsenal, how many games left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it 8 or 9?
No, 8.
8. Okay. 8. Now with 8 games left, they have at least 3 games that will go down as defeated. They just played Liverpool. So if you make that 9. So with 9 games left, they had to go Liverpool away. Yes. They had to go Man City away, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, but this is not the Chelsea that we know. No. And they play Brighton at home. All that shows you that Arsenal's run of games have been lopsided.
I think the remaining games will really tell us
But that's the point I'm making. For instance, the game they lost to Man City at the Emirates, it was a game that was to have been played the weekend the Queen died. If it had been played that weekend, they would have beaten Arsenal.
Most likely.
Arsenal's game point climber would not have been that significant by Christmas. So that helped them. Then they beat Arsenal, beat Chelsea. That was a good victory. Then they beat Tottenham home and away. That was a good victory. That's what really shows that they are doing well. But now,
and even Man United.
Well, but they lost to United when United were not that good.
And they beat United.
Yeah, but that one too, you will say Casemiro. If Casemiro was on the field that day, there's no way.
Football, those things always go.
But that's the reason why Arsenal will be showing like they are doing well, but we will say that it doesn't look like they're a title-winning squad.
So we'll look at the title-winning squad.
With 9 games to go, they had Liverpool away, which was to have been lost. They drew. They have City away, which is to be lost. They have Newcastle away, which is to be lost. So with 9 games to go, you have 3 sure losses of 9 points loss. If that had come earlier, you would have been Arsenal today without the 9, and that is where your position is. But this kind of run of game is what has brought
your point
all of
is
this
that
success.
They've had a very good run of games.
They've had a perfect run of games in their favor.
Yes.
Plus, not playing other competitions. They're out of everything. So
and they've not had much injuries in their squad as compared to the others.
That is credit to them.
They had made that point.
No, but that's credit to Arsenal. Alex Ferguson used to praise himself for managing injuries well. So that's credit to Arsenal. Yes, they've not had injuries, but it's credit to Arsenal. The real problem is the run of games. Because if you had these 3 points gone already out of what you have now, this 6 points or 9 points or 5 points out, then that is your real position. But now you will find you have been leading and then suddenly you've dropped 9 points.
We'll see. The remaining games will tell us more. Yes, so Paul, I said the remaining games will really tell us the story or the point that I are trying to make, whether it's way to the remaining games. These were the remaining games, minus the last game.
What happened?
Yes.
Draw,
lose, win.
Now, this is the reason why some Nigerian Arsenal supporters, now Arsenal has a big fan in Nigeria, because of Nwankwo Kanu and now Bukayo Saka as well. So the Nigerians were singing all we are saying, Saka Teta. So I asked them that why. And then they said it has nothing to do with the Man City game. Absolutely nothing to do with the Man City game. These 3 draws, where they were leading 2-0 in each case. And they said that the coach, who is in the race for the title, you are at the photo finish, the last 100 meters, and you have 9 points to pick up. And you pick up 3 and lose 6. That's where they lost the title.
Yes, that's
it's not Man City. Man City could have beaten them, and Arsenal could still have won the title. But it's that metal, the metal that they didn't have. And their coach also appears not to have the metal. He's not won a title before as a player. So I understand that. You see, it's not good players who win the title. It's a system.
It's a system.
The system that wins the title. If you don't understand it. Now, that's why Gary Neville is talking quite a bit about this Arsenal, because he understands title winning. When it was 8 games to go, he said Arsenal will not win the title. Man City will win it. Because if you look at, so sometimes people used to look at Alex Ferguson and say that he has been benching, he had this right back who was a twin, Da Silva. Fabio, yes. No, Fabio is not a right back. Fabio is, I think, is left. There's another one. Rafael Da Silva, yes. He was a right back, and so was Gary Neville. So Rafael is in the team, but he doesn't start the league. He comes in from week 12. And then Gary Neville takes a break. But Gary Neville will do the Champions League away games. And Rafael will do the Champions League home games. They are both right backs. Now, people looked at that and said, and Alex Ferguson would do Paul Scholes. And then you have this Brazilian guy, whatever his name is, black guy Brazilian, who used to have the cornrow. Anderson, correct. Yes, you are filler. Anderson. So he was using Scholes and Anderson. Scholes was better than Anderson, but Scholes was older. So when you look at the way he's rotating his squad, you know that he's preparing for the Chelsea game in week 8. You know he's preparing for the Man City home game in week 13. You can tell that he's asked this player that rest. You will play the Man City game and you are going to mark Haaland. So start concentrating on that. He gives you a 6 weeks plan to mark Haaland on D-Day. So that's a system that wins the title. Arteta plays, let's all go, let's play. We are playing. And commentators started criticizing him that Bukayo Saka is tired, that Thomas Partey was tired.
And if you look at the stats, Arsenal made the least substitutions. Because
he doesn't have the title-winning mentality. Sometime in the season, Kevin De Bruyne was dropped by Pep.
Yes, and many people didn't understand.
Yes, it's a system that wins the title because he knows that he needs De Bruyne for week 26. There's a big game against Arsenal. He has to win it. And De Bruyne is key, so drop him now. Then even Haaland was dropped at the peak of what game was that? They happened to, I think it was Liverpool. When they played Liverpool, Haaland couldn't make it. He was half injured. They could have raised him. Pep said, no, we'll play Liverpool without him because we need him for another game. So that's the system that you need a coach who understands the system, who has the resources.
And also the team. Because the team who have the psychological thing. Who have the mental, who are
to
mental
want to win.
To want,
is there anybody in the Arsenal team who had won the title? It's Gabriel Jesus.
Yes, Gabriel Jesus
and Zinchenko for a while.
Zinchenko, yes.
So
but coming to the end of the season, he was part of the. He was part.
Yeah, but
where they really when he went out, they really did well and won a
He never really got his form back.
Yes.
He never really got his pre-World Cup
form. Like when he
form.
started.
Yeah, the pre-World Cup form, he didn't get it back. He came back, scored a few goals, but didn't get it back.
Because when he even went out, they went on a run and won a lot of games. When Nketiah
came in, scored twice against Manchester United.
Yes, Nketiah did well, filled in his shoes, and they won a lot of games. But when he came back, they really dipped a bit in form.
But even when he was away, they found Leonardo Trossard, who's a very good player. Extremely
good
player.
From Brighton.
Yes, he's a very, very good player. I don't know why I don't know how. And I saw also perhaps Arteta must look at the way he deploys his players. Reece Nelson is a particularly good player, but I think he's not found a way to deploy that guy well. I'm hoping that.
I think right now because you look at coming to the end, he started dropping Partey and using.
Partey was not forgiven. They didn't forgive Partey for the West Ham 2-2
mistake.
Yeah, I think he caused two mistakes, caused the 2 goals. Both were Partey.
Yes,
and that's a game they should have won. They took a 2-0 lead. I think the supporters did not quite forgive Partey for that, but let's go on.
Yeah, so now the question is, did they bottle the league? So you look at you look at from January. Let's look at from January how the pattern was. Arsenal were leading 7 points in January, January 1st. February 1st, they were 5 points clear of City. March 1st, Arsenal were also still 5 points clear of City. April, Arsenal were 8 points clear of City, having played a game more. And May, Arsenal were a point behind City, having played a game more. So by May, City had catch up with them. In April, they were 8 points clear, having played a game more. But in May, City had catch up with them, and City were leading them by a point even though Arsenal had played a game more. And by May 20th, where the league was, the City wins the league after Arsenal lost to Nottingham Forest. So did they really bottle the league?
They certainly did.
If you look at this thing. And there's another stat to that. Arsenal led the Premier League title for 208 days, the most for a team who have failed to win the league. That's an unfortunate stat for them. So you look at the history of teams who have been at the top for a very long time and have not been able to win the league. Newcastle in the 95-96 season, they led the league for 212 days. Wow. And they couldn't win.
I remember
so
that
Arsenal
that
have beaten them with that record by some huge margin.
I see. By leading, so this is the longest anybody has led the league.
Led the league without winning.
And is Arsenal holding that
Arsenal
record?
Hold. And Arsenal
Newcastle
in 2000 and 2003.
And Arsenal come third.
Yes.
And Manchester United come fourth. And Arsenal come again fifth. And then there's Liverpool in 2018.
18 and 19.
The one that Manchester City won.
City beat them with 1 point, I think.
Yeah. I remember that.
City had 100 points and they had 99 points. Okay. So these are the teams who will be representing England in the top 4. Newcastle coming in a surprise one, coming, I think, taking out Liverpool out there. Arsenal, many people at the beginning of the season wouldn't have also predicted that Arsenal will make top 4.
That's true.
Yes, and they've also made top 4.
Credit
so it's also credit to them. And Man United are also back in the Champions League.
Glory, Man United. Yeah, glory,
yes.
Man United.
And these are the teams, the newly promoted teams too. We have Sheffield United, Burnley, and Luton Town.
Luton Town is exciting for me, isn't it?
Yes, their stadium, they have a very interesting stadium.
How does it look like?
Their stadium is, they say they have to work on it. It's not Premier League standard.
But would they have the
time
to work on it between now and August?
It's a very small stadium that you find in between a lot of buildings. It's
I should have added. Stadium.
Yes, I should have added a picture of the stadium.
Pre-Second World War stadium.
Yes, that's the kind of way their stadium.
It's not secured.
Like. It's not that.
People can see the game from some other places.
Yes, someone can even be in his house and be watching the game. Yes.
So how are they going to do that before August?
Let's see if they can.
Because Manchester City are going to have to go to Luton Town.
Yes.
Manchester United will go there. Arsenal will go there. Chelsea will go there.
Yes. And this season has the record of the highest number of goals in a season. And also, Erling Haaland scored the highest number of goals that anyone has scored in the Premier League season. He has 36 goals.
That's solid.
Just his first season, and he has also had that record. And now we have the FA Cup finals.
Wayne Rooney says his gut feeling is that Manchester United is going to win. But what's your gut feeling?
Manchester City are the favourite, but if there are teams, if there's any team who can beat this current Manchester United team and this current Manchester City team, I think Man United is one, and Liverpool is one, and probably Arsenal. Probably if there's a team in Europe now who can beat the City team, because what Man United have in their favour is that in games against City, they don't need to play well. They just need to take advantage of moments that come in their way. And they are very good at that. That's what Erik ten Hag has really built. You see that Man United in some games don't play very well, but moments come, one chance, and they score with that. And they're able to defend.
When you say that, you have Anthony at the back of your mind.
Yes. Just something small, just against the action of play, then they score a goal. Yes, you see that they are not playing much well, but just action of
But Manchester United have said that this season they have not fielded the trio. Casemiro, the Scandinavia guy, what's his name? Eriksen, and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Eriksen played together. They've won every game that the three have played together, including beating Manchester City at the Old Trafford in the game that I happened to see. Yes. They beat them there. City took the lead and they beat them 2-1.
That controversial
offside goal scored.
That's what I'm saying. You see, they took that moment. That's what happens.
Yeah,
they took that moment.
The last minute moment.
Yes, that's how
United
are very good at that. Yeah. They are very good at that. They'll sit back, not play much well, and then they'll take that moment. So that's what makes them. That's what makes them very dangerous against City.
But what if City
City also have injury concerns?
What if City score first?
Okay,
at the Old Trafford, City scored first through Jack Grealish, and United won the game.
United came back. Mm-hmm. City also have injury concerns. De Bruyne is out. It's 50-50. It's not confirmed. Akanji is also 50-50. They have about 3 or 4 players who are not sure to make the squad to play the match. Okay,
for me, a United fan, that sounds like music to my ears. Let's look at Black Stars now, if we can.
Yes, let's look at Black Stars. So Chris Hilton released a squad for Madagascar. AFCON qualifier that will be playing, and this is the squad. The goalkeepers, we have Atizigi.
Atizigi is the children's favorite, too. The children's favorite. You know why? Because the day we played Korea at the World Cup, many schools were in session, and the television sets was deployed to the schools across the country.
Yes.
And the last 10 minutes, even the children who don't understand football, I'm told that when they had this 10 minutes to go and Ghana was 3-2 up, They were just hoping that Atisigi would do the right thing. And anytime he had the ball, they were praying for him. So he's the most popular among Ghanaians below the age of 17.
And that 10 minutes was the longest 10 minutes.
The longest 10 minutes in the history of Ghana.
We in the stadium ourselves.
Yeah, you were there.
No, we were in the stadium, and normally when it's...
Did you know that it was 10 minutes?
Yes, they'll show in 10 minutes, but you will not see the time running. So if you are not calculating it with yourself, you see it at home. That
they don't
the time
let you see it. So
but in the stadium,
no
you don't see that it's running. You don't see that the 10 minutes is running.
So
we were just over there. We don't know whether its time is up.
And everybody's asking the other how many minutes
last corner kick, they saw that the referee had blown his whistle. Even before they played the corner kick, they started jubilating.
That reminds me of a story. I like telling these stories. I was at Accra Sports Stadium many years ago. Hearts were playing an African Cup game. And we were sitting at the Osu stand. And I think one of the guys there was a Kotoko fan, but he pretended he's a Hearts fan. So Hearts needed to score. I think it was against JS Kabylie of Algeria. Hearts needed to score. So one of the Hearts guys, I'm not a Hearts guy, and they know that, and I have a very good friend who was a Hearts guy. We go together. So they asked me that, how many minutes more has Hearts got to do this thing? And I said, oh, I think it's about 15. Because the stadium thing, I didn't look at my word, there's no time. So I said, I think it's about 15. And the guy said, oh, 15 there, we can do something. Then the one guy there said, it's not 15, it's 10. Then the Hearts supporters found him out and they started attacking him. That his excitement that is 10 minutes to go means that he's against.
He's against.
He's against, yeah, because everybody was looking for more time for Hearts to score. So that's Atigi's story. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's move on.
And so these are the goalkeepers, and in defense, to no much new faces. Unless
no Jeffrey Schlupp.
No Jeffrey Schlupp still. We don't know why. Patrick Pozo coming in left back. Baba Rahman is still not healthy, so very controversial. So no really new names here. And the midfield, Thomas Partey, Kudus, Salis, and Edmonado, and then Majid Ashimero. He did very well in the last game against Angola. But we were losing. When he came in, he changed the game, and Ghana were able to
he's the guy,
equalize.
Majid Ashimero. Where does he play?
He plays in Belgium. He plays for Anderlecht in Belgium. He was the one that you remember Samajan made.
Yes.
This thing for when he was not added to the squad.
The World Cup squad.
And we have the wingers, Kamal Dean, Bukari Usman, and Pencil, and also this a new young chap who has been added to the DNS Myanmar. He plays for Norgeland, and he's had a very good season. He's 19 years old. He's had a very good season. He has been added to the squad.
Excellent.
Yes. That's the new name. And the attackers.
Did Jordan still there? Inaki Williams.
And this a German, the name has escaped me. He plays in Germany. And so this as it stands now in the African Cup qualifiers, Ghana need just a win now, and they can guarantee qualification to the African Cup. We'll be playing Madagascar in Ghana.
Where?
Kumasi.
When?
That's this month, I think ending of this month.
Okay.
Yes. And now the World Cup qualifiers, Africa now has 10 slots, 9 automatic, and 1 you have to play playoffs. So CAF has developed a new system for the qualification for the African zone for the World Cup. And then in this new system, 9 groups will be created, and the leaders of those groups, anyone who tops his group qualifies automatically. And then the 4 best runners up in all the groups will play a mini tournament, and the winner of that mini tournament will now go and play the continental playoff to see whether they can qualify to make the slots 10 or not. And the situation is that Ghana would find themselves in a very difficult group if we are using, normally when they are doing the balloting, they use rankings to do the balloting to see who will be in pot 1.
Those will be seeded.
That's those who will be seeded, and then pot 2 and the rest. So if you are using the current ranking now, these are the top 9 teams, and they will probably be seeded. Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, and Burkina Faso.
We'll take Burkina Faso.
Yes, so these are probably the teams who will be seeded. Tunisia are very good at qualifying.
They will take Algeria.
They are very good at qualifying.
We don't want Nigeria anymore.
It's very tight, because having Morocco, any of the teams here... But in spite
of we going to the World Cup ahead of Nigeria, they are still ranked higher?
Yes, they are ranked higher. Because of the African Cup of Nations. They had a long run of, if the ranking is about the number of games you've won in a period of time and the opponents you've also played, Ghana has found it very difficult to even win 2 games in a row. It's been very long that Ghana has won games for a very long time. Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations, they won all their 3 group games. They won all their 3 group games until they lost in the round of 16. But we in the African Cup of Nations, we didn't win any game at all. And that's when we really dropped down the ranking.
In the World Cup, we won a game against South Korea.
We won only one game against South Korea. Even the friendlies ahead of the World Cup, we won against Switzerland too. But we've not really had a run of game where we've won, and also against the opponents. we beat Angola in our last qualifier, but Angola, if you watch them on the ranking, it will really not push you up. So that's what is causing us not to be in, like you look at a country like Cameroon like this, they are also in the top 9. So these are the teams that Ghana are likely to, and these are the teams that Ghana will not meet probably, because we'll probably be in pot 2 with them, and we are likely not to meet them in the World Cup qualifiers. And this World Cup is going to be held in USA, Canada, and Mexico, a 48-team World Cup.
So when the group is out, we need to top our group.
Yeah, we need to top our group to qualify automatically.
How many teams will be in the group?
Our 6 teams will be in a group. 6 teams. And we need to, if you want to qualify automatically, you need to top your group. Other than that, you have to be part of the best second
for one more place.
For one more place. And those 4 teams will play a mini tournament, and the winner of that tournament will now go and play the continental playoff.
With another continent?
With another continent, to see whether they can qualify or not. And Ghana has a friendly game in October with the United States of America in Nashville.
But October is it Germany? 17th. I see USA.
Yeah, USA will play Germany first. They are preparing for their continental tournament.
And Ghana's game is against who?
It's against, we'll play USA against.
In 17th October?
Yes, Nashville.
Okay.
And their transfer. Now let's do some transfer rumors. Recently, there has been a lot of transfer. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, we know he's already in Saudi Arabia. There's an offer for Messi. Messi, we have heard that he's not renewing his contract with PSG, so he'll be leaving PSG. Now, he's had an offer from Saudi Arabia, 400 million euros a year, and Barcelona are also trying to get him. So he's yet to decide where he'll go. Benzema also has an offer from Saudi Arabia, 200 million euros a year. He's also deciding on whether he'll choose it or not.
Yeah, Manchester United and the ownership, where's the latest?
Yes, the Glazers have not said anything yet. What we've heard is that after the FA Cup finals, that's when it will be clear. They want the season to officially be over before
they'll make any
decision.
But it looks like the Sheikh is getting it.
he's the one who is ahead. But because during the sale of Chelsea to a Saudi consortium came in, and many people thought they were in, but later they were dropped. Because now they are not encouraging the Arab taking over match. People are not encouraging.
But the supporters want the Arabs.
The supporters do.
They know Neymar may be coming,
yes,
and Mbappe may be coming.
Yes, Neymar has said that if you move to any team, he has also had an offer to go to Saudi Arabia, but he has rejected it and said if you go to any team at all, it will be Manchester United. Real Madrid are also trying to get Jude Bellingham of
Manchester
England.
United wanted Bellingham as well.
Yes, but Real Madrid are almost done with it. They just
he decided to go to play for Real Madrid?
Yes, they just have a few paperwork to conclude, and he will go to Real Madrid.
Ibrahim, Mason Mount is coming to Manchester United. I think it's settled.
The fee for Manchester to pay is the issue now. Chelsea are demanding 80 million euros, and Manchester are still trying to.
Let's keep an eye on that. If I get a ticket for the FA Cup on Saturday, I'll let you know. That's Ibrahim and I talking about football. Back to you.